Vitor Roque is like a similar profile to Gabriel Jesus.
He's a cooler, die-hard coolers.
He is a bit expensive at the moment.
I think we have to go for him.
I don't see us signing Vitor Roque.
Vitor Roque is more important than Messi joining the club. Since we're talking about how La Liga is closely packed, we need some striker who can score in tight spaces. So this is where Vitor Roque comes in. His profile completely suits the league, and maybe his dynamics, his passing, and his just other stuff in general suits Barca. So, what's your opinion on Vitor Roque?
Vitor Roque is like a similar profile to Gabriel Jesus. I know what Xavi is doing. Like Aguero was the main striker at City, and then they got Jesus as well as the alternative. So he's following the similar trends. Of course, like Lewandowski will start, and Vitor Roque will be the backup striker.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect for Roque and perfect for us as well, because Lewandowski in like 1 or 2 years time he will be needing a replacement, right?
He plays like maybe within 1 or 2 months he would need a replacement.
Yeah, you can say that, but in an ideal case scenario, there is still few years left in Lewandowski, you can say.
Yeah.
I don't think it's few more years. I think he has 1 more year of top game.
Maybe a year, yeah, I agree with that. But I also think it's the perfect time for him to join Barca, provided how Lewandowski is in. And when he joins, he could have an important role to play in the upcoming season. And it's good for his development as well. And he's a cooler, die-hard cooler, so he'd join in for, reasonable wages. It all depends on Atletico Parmenas, and Barca. The agreement between them on the transfer fee is what's holding him back.
I think he's a good choice. He is a bit expensive at the moment. We don't have the funding for him.
I'll tell you one thing. Telling Vitor Roque is expensive, it's just so vague, and it doesn't add much to the whole circumstance behind it. Because a player like Vitor Roque is, of course, is going to cost something. The only downside is he hasn't performed in a market where clubs are splashing out 65 million for Endrick. I think the price for Vitor Roque is justified, provided the transfer could be paid in installments. It totally depends on the contract, because I'm not sure how the agreement in price for Vitor Roque is 40 million, and we are going to pay like around 15 million the first season, and the next season we keep on reducing the number. But how is it going to add up in fair play? Is it going to add up as 40 million just like that, or is it going to add up as in 15 million?
It depends on the length of his contract. Suppose 5 years and he costed around 50 million, so it will be 10 million every year.
So it will not be added up as 50 million as, one. So what does it matter if we pay 15 million for him or 40 million for him for the next 3 years, but paying 15 million straight up front? If that is what's going to add up for FFP is not something we have to be worried about. For example, Neymar, how much did Neymar cost us in the end? He was also a player who was not proven in the big stage. We ended up signing him for more than 60 million.
I don't think you can compare Neymar and Vitor Roque, and you can't call him someone who hadn't proven himself at that time, because he was really good in the Club World Cup as well. He won the silver ball in the Club World Cup in the final versus us. He was also part of the Copa America squad before that in 2011.
There's also the fact we were not bankrupt at that time, right? When we bought Neymar.
Yeah, this is the main topic now. The thing is, if it was a few years ago, splashing 45 million for Vitor Roque wouldn't have been something big, Our current financial situations puts a dilemma of whether signing Vitor Roque is a good option or not.
I think we have to go for him. There is no other way. If we don't go for him, probably some other big club will go for him and we will regret. We should strike a deal with club or something and find some formulas in fair play, and we have to go for him. No two ways about it.
I agree with you, man. Vitor Roque is, in my opinion, Vitor Roque is more important than Messi joining the club.
I don't see us signing Vitor Roque. We cannot compete with 58 clubs. If they're interested, they're getting him.
I think we have their interest, right? We have the players' interest, and the players' interest is the main thing here.
The club blocks the move, it doesn't matter.
I think this signing must happen. He's the only player that is on the market that is exciting. He's young, he's bringing in talent, he's Brazilian, he's strong, he's fast, and he's the future. If he joins us, it's going to make an impact for the next 5 or 10 years.
What do you guys think about the option of bringing Aubameyang for next season, and then we sign Vitor Roque now, but we get him after 1 season?
I'm with the signing, it should happen. I don't want Aubameyang to come.
I think that's bad for the morale, for the team and for the player.
How is it a bad morale for the team?
Because you have purchased the player and you shows that he's not a priority for us.
No, it's not about the priority. Like it's about his development. That's the thing. He's still an unfinished player. He still needs to be developed, right? So if he's not going to get enough time in the team, if we still don't know what's Xavi's game plan yet. So if his game plan is more about giving a few minutes of Vitor Roque, it could affect his development, don't you think? It could be an option, but I'm not a fan of this option though. But I would understand why people would talk about this. If the signing gets complicated and this is the only way, I think we should go for it.
Yeah, and one more reason, like, I don't want Aubameyang to come is, like, he's a good striker, but currently he's going on a bad form.
The thing is, I'd only want Aubameyang if Lewandowski is not there. I'll tell you, Aubameyang, he works well with Dembele, and that's one good thing. Whenever he played with Dembele in the wings, he was really good, and the stat speaks up for that.
He's good, but currently at Chelsea, I don't think that he's getting the form back. He's benched for such a long time, and if he's coming to Barca, like, regaining that, the strength again, like, it's not easy.
I disagree on one point. I don't think Xavi will make Vitor Roque sit on bench. I think he will have enough minutes because we are not going to buy a player for 50 million, 40 million, not sit him on the bench. I think Xavi is going to give him chances. He will play in the first team. Yes, Lewandowski will still be our first priority, but I think Vitor Roque is going to start.
Also, he can play up front, anywhere up front, right? Vitor Roque. He can play maybe as a winger. Yeah, so either way, I think Xavi's probably gonna, line up with a clusterfuck of attack. When things go down and it's panic mode, Xavi's just gonna throw a few more forward, and Vitor Roque could be one more, and maybe have an impactless game.